Here are some optional things. Oh, okay. This will be good. We can move our old background layer back down. And click in a neutral area so everything's off, and then go up and select black and white. Now what these sliders do is everything that had a yellow value you can make darker or lighter. Everything that had a red value you can make darker or lighter, etc. Okay, we got rid of a lot of the blue, but there's still some in there, so you could bring some contrast back if you want. And if you screw it all up, you can try a couple of these, or you can always throw it away and start again. So let's say I like that as is. I can bring selective color into here because this black and white layer is by default a layer mask. So see, everything that's white is applied. If I paint black, it will unapply that area. So see, I have black is selected. I select a paintbrush. The paintbrush is going to paint black. If I paint, it's going to bring back color. I can control Z to get rid of that. If this is a hard brush, you will see a solid line. If it's a soft brush, it's going to be softer with a little more gradient around the edge. Now it's a pretty monochromatic image to begin with, just with some subtle color. So what's fun sometimes is to make a sort of colorized looking picture by bring color back in the lips. Yep, I'm down to pixels. I can just, let's see, make this really small. I can just go for it and paint in. And I've gone overboard, so I switch the colors. And paint white to get the black and white back. I can switch them by just hitting X. Make it smaller with the brackets. Alternately, what I can do, let's just paint that all back, black. I'm painting it white so the black and white applies again. What I can do is use beneath the first selection box and go to the second one, and the lasso tool could be up, or the magnetic lasso tool. I'm looking for the polygon. And every time I click, it drops down a point. So I'm just going to click around the lips. And this is fairly geometric. We're not worried about that yet. We will fix that in a moment. Okay. So I have a selection, but I'm going to go up here to select and mask. And what I'm going to do is smooth this out. So I'm rounding all those edges that I made. And I'm going to feather it so that these edges are softer. I can shift the edge. I can make it bigger or smaller. And I hit OK. And then what I can do is Is it edit? Yep, edit, fill, not content aware. I want to fill with foreground or background. Now my foreground, this is my foreground color, this is my background color. Foreground is black, so I hit, or I also have an option just for black, so I'll use that. There. And I can paint on it with black, just to make sure. Switch them up. That's only going to affect what is selected. Okay. Selection, and let's see what it did. You can do the same thing with the eyes. Actually, I'm going to do something different with the eyes. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to label it eyes. And we'll change the color of the eyes. Get this polygon lasso. I could use a circle, but see how the circle's cut off here? Just go around roughly. And I'll smooth that out. Actually, going to shift the edge, make it a little bit smaller, because when I feather it, it's going to expand, believe it or not. Just making sure I'm not getting outside that black area. I hit OK. And then I'm going to pick, we're going to make two different color eyes. We're going to make them bright colors just so they're easy to see. I can use the brush to color it in, or I can go to Edit, Fill, Fill with the foreground color. Okay, and now that's a pretty bright green because the layer is normal. If I go to Overlay, you start seeing through it. Okay, and then what I can do, drag this down, make it into a layer mask, and then I can paint on this guy, make this small, with black to undo it, the green in the middle. All right, just so you get the idea, let's do the other eye. Not worried about those hairs in the way yet. Am I on? There you go. Make sure I'm clicked on a layer. Select and mask. I'm going to smooth it out. Feather it. Shift the edge in a little bit. Hit OK. And then let's select, let's just do a blue, just select, it's another light color so it's easy to see on this small screen. You can obviously use whatever color you want. And again, I can either paint that blue in. Why am I not painting in? Filled background color. And something up. What's going on? Oh, because this is black. That's why. All right, see what I did there? I jumped the gun. This switch over here. I need to, black means that the layer is turned off. So I need to paint some white to turn that little area back on. There, that's what I did. Okay, let me back up. Here's what I need to do. All right, so I need to make this, paint the layer mask white. And then go to the actual layer itself, and I can paint in the blue. Go back to the layer mask and paint the iris black. And if I really want it to be meticulous, you know, kind of paint those hairs back in. So, because they're not supposed to be blue.